Good was good. I got my boy Ronnie for sports, and we about to break down the NFL. I mean, excuse me, the NBA playoffs. Last night we had the Hawks versus Orlando, and we Lakers. I mean, Memphis Grizzlies versus Golden State Warriors. But Ronnie, did you see that Orlando's game last night versus Orlando?
Yeah, man, that game was pretty good, man. I was, I got real high hopes for Paulo Banchero, man. I really think the kid is like he built, sort of like LeBron, to me, man. So like, I really think that he got like a real chance of like really being like a future superstar in the league, man. So like, they've been consistent. They went to the playoffs last year. I think they may have gotten out in the first round last year, and then this year they back in it. So Atlanta's a tough team. They not a team that's gonna lay down. They dealing with some injuries and stuff. So I know that kind of affected how they was gonna play and how they was gonna move forward in the playoffs. But it didn't surprise me, man. I feel like that kid Panchera really showed up and showed out, man. I think I don't know if they're gonna get past the first round, man, but I think it's gonna be competitive.
Last night, Pablo last night, what he had last night. Let's see what Pablo had last night. Pablo had 17 points last night, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, a solid game last night. But Cole Anthony and, Ben Carter, Wendell Carter showed up last night. So they took that game about Pablo Banchero. I love the game, man. He Carmelo Anthony slasher that can take you down in the low block and do what he wants. But I don't think he feel he's aggressive enough. I think he need to be more aggressive and be able to get more out of his other players and become a star. It looks like you're being a star, wants to be a star, but I think he needs to take that next step because he's about to go into the second round and he's about to go face Boston. That's one and done. He's gone. Pablo's gone, so it's good that he's getting his playoff experience and being able to, I hope the Magic build around them. They got a good, solid core down there. I would see somebody like Kevin Durant go in free agency because they got Durant being putting him in Orlando. They're going to have to gut some of that team, some of their young players. But, I think it's over for Trae Young. Let's be honest with you, man. Trae Young, what he had last night, I think Young had 28.6 assists, 2 points. Yes, injuries plagued them as well, but Atlanta need to rethink about what you think about Atlanta squad. Do you think they need to trade?
I probably so. I think it's something to think about. I don't think Trae Young is done, but I think Trae Young in Atlanta may be done. 28 points, solid slasher. He's a closer. He's a certified closer. I think it may be time for him to, go somewhere and get a fresh start. He's a fan favorite type of player. He's a ticket seller. With me living near Atlanta, I've gone to a few games. I went to the Hawks Bucks game recently. I went to the Hawks Knicks game, and he's a person that brings a lot of energy, so he's gonna sell tickets. I think you may need to pair him up with someone where he's the B guy and not the A guy. I don't think he may be your first choice when running the offense. I think he may need to be paired up with someone that's more of a scorer so he can be able to spread the floor. I think when you look at someone like Kyrie, Kyrie is really a great player, but he's even greater when he's paired with someone else on the team that's the A side. When it was LeBron in Cleveland or Kevin Durant in Brooklyn or even Luka Doncic out in the Mavericks. I think he's better in that position rather than when he was in Boston, when he was the A guy. So I think that's kind of what Trey needs. Trey needs to be paired up with someone that's a little bit more of the guy on the team, and I think it's going to open up his game as well. Because he's a dynamic scorer, but he also going to get a lot of assists too. And he shares that ball. Like when he was throwing those alleys to Capella, for years. I mean, it looks good on the court. So I think he just need a fresh start somewhere. I think that'll be good for him. What you think?
I really think it should be a fresh start Trey Young too, or you go out there and get some pieces. Trey Young has had it in Atlanta. His time is up. I think the love for the city and the love to play in Atlanta, I think that's gone. I think they looking to trade him in this offseason and be seeing what you can get for him. I think I like Trey Young and a good fit to go play with a younger team that's more his speed, that's going to run up and down, and he could be able to do what he do. I look at the Houston Rockets that could trade for him, that could use that been in the playoffs before, and it goes to take them to the next level. I think that Houston Rockets could use him. Who else? I think even if he gets with Ben Sherrill, he need that slasher. He need that second guy that he can hand the ball off to and sometimes play off the ball. I think Trey Young can play off the ball as well, much better at the same time. So he needs that other guy to work out. He can't be the guy in Atlanta because they do got some good pieces out there, but it's just how is it working? And I don't think at draft night, you remember draft night, they drafted Luka. They drafted Luka. And they traded Luka for Trey Young on draft night. So, you know what I mean? How you think that's fair and well? Let's just imagine Luka would have went to Atlanta. Let's think that. What you think would happen if Luka would be in Atlanta and Trey in Dallas? How would that have turned?
I think with their personalities, I think with the fan base, I think it worked out perfectly for both of them. Like Trey Young is more of an outspoken, trash talker type of guy, right? And that's Atlanta, like that's an Atlanta vibe, when you talk about the people in Atlanta. And I think with Luka having his personality a lot more like Dirk Nowitzki, where you got the foreigner coming from, young professional player. I think I remember them saying like Dirk Nowitzki was playing pro basketball in his homeland when he was like 14, 15, a young professional athlete. And Luka was the same thing. So I think it wouldn't have worked out better than the situation worked out with them on the teams that they were currently on. Trey Young went to an Eastern Conference championship, so you got to give him that. He did take his team to the Eastern Conference championship a few years back. Luka did take his team to the finals last year. I don't know if they would have actually been able to get that far in the past 4 or 5 years if the roles were reversed. So I think they ended up where they were supposed to be. With both of them. Because Atlanta likes Trey Young, bro. They rock with Trey, bro. When he started doing this ice cold, bro, he you know what I mean? The fans be into it, bro.
I mean, bro, you're a successful businessman out in Georgia. You own multiple businesses. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do all the businesses that you own and you out there getting it, you doing all this stuff out there, you did everything. You took over Miami, you took over. So you know about going changing franchises and being a franchise player, building a franchise, creating other franchises, and general managing a franchise, and I became a star under your general managership. So let's be honest. Come on now. Let's give me a better answer than that, Mr. Dozier. Come on, Mr. Businessman. Come on now. All the businesses you own.
When you think about it, like for instance, right? I went to the Hawks-Knicks game last year in Atlanta. The Hawks versus the Knicks. And listen, man, the Knicks fans showed up, bro. Like it was Knicks fans everywhere. And they were energetically in the game, but they were really in the game. They wasn't rooting more so for the Knicks as they were rooting against Trae Young. Like that's the energy that he brings. You know, it's like he brings an energy where you gonna love him or hate him. You know, and you know, Atlanta is kind of like that type of vibe. Like a lot of our rappers, a lot of our you know, people that you know from Atlanta are real like we're the best, we're the top guy, regardless of where they go. You know, like you know, you've heard this I know you heard them say like Future is bigger than Jay-Z in the South. You know, and you know, I'd have been around the whole United States, bro. Future is not bigger than Jay-Z. But here in Atlanta, you can't say that Jay-Z's bigger than Future. You know what I mean? Because it's our own little world down here in the South. You know what I mean? So I think like I said, man, I think Trae Young is a good fit for Atlanta.
But you come on now. You stepped on Brooklyn ground, nigga. You was in Brooklyn. You was in LG. You was in Bed-Stuy. Come on now. You toured the world, man. Come on now. You was in Brooklyn. You're not a guy just talking about Brooklyn. You was there. Now, you was rooting that Brooklyn love when you was there, brother. Come on now.
But see, this is the thing, right?
Tell me.
I think he might do good on a team like the Nets, for real.
Now.
I think Trae Young might do good on a team like the Nets, like because New York has a way of hating you.
You may be
but
onto something.
When you a part of them, this is what I think. I think if he joined a team like the Nets, and then you start building, you know, you got draft capital, you got salary cap where you can go and trade for some other players. I think you'll have a really good rivalry right there with the Knicks versus the Nets. It'll actually bring a real true rivalry in the state of New York, which would be fun to watch. You know, like I'm interested in this New York team, but it just seems like Trae Young got their number in every situation that, you know, Trae Young is in. When he goes to the Garden, bro, he's like Jay-Z in the Garden. It's like the Black Album when Trae Young come through. I mean,
come on now. Who don't show off at the Garden? LeBron James showed, Michael Jordan showed off at it. The Garden is just a Garden. Tallahassee showed off at the Garden. So come on now, Ronnie. Come on now. You gotta give me a better one than that. Come on now.
But
everybody is just like you could be 0-30. When you get to the Garden, you gonna be average, and that's just the law of the lights, man. The law of the lights.
But yeah, but the thing is though, a lot of people in the Garden come to see the other player from the other team play. Like when Michael scored 55 back in the day, they wanted to see Michael. They wasn't necessarily booing Michael. You know, so when Trae Young shows up to the Garden though, it's a they spit on the man, bro. They spit on Trae in the Garden, bro. Like they I never seen nothing like that, bro. Like they really do not like Trae Young up there, man. So I think he just got their number, man. He really do. I think he got the Knicks right where he want them, man.
I mean, come on now, but overall, you know, like I said, proud of the young Magic team, man, proud of them to go places, but they just dodged the bus to run into a truck. That's all. That's like because they dodged the bus. They got out the bus and they gonna see that truck coming, and it's like you made it to the sidewalk, but that your leg was stuck out and that car just banged it, and that's what Boston gonna do to them. Boston is gonna send these guys home in war. What you think? Let's talk about the Boston and the Boston series because they play Boston. Let's talk about Boston. What you give Pablo Banchero and the Orlando Magic against Boston?
I think I think that the moral victory was just getting to the playoffs. You know, that road stops there, bro. Like they're not getting anywhere near the second round of the playoffs. So like it's a moral victory. It allowed you to say, hey man, we clinched the playoff spot, but the road ends there.
Would you bet one of your businesses on it? Would you bet one of your employees' checks on it? Let's be honest. Come on now. Would you put your money on Orlando Magic?
The series will be over in 3. They just got to play the 4th game because it's a best of 7 series. But they spirit gonna be broke in 3 games. Like the 4th game is just formality, bro.
The Magic. So the Magic is about to go away. No more.
Yeah, they going. Actually, what's gonna happen is because they'll play 2 games in Boston. Then they'll play 2 games in Orlando. So that 4th game, they just stay home. I think, you know, they're not packing any luggage to go back to Boston for a game 5. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I think that this was the victory.
Family, the 4th game, the family going. So you telling me the 4th game, Boston family is coming with them to Orlando because they by the time when they go to Orlando. They're gonna just come with them on that show, right? Because they going to Orlando. Yeah. They said we're gonna be out there. Well, you know what I mean? You ain't coming back. They vacation. They going to Orlando for this. That's what they're doing.
That game 4 is just for, you know, Disney to sell some tickets, maybe give away some Mickey Mouse ears. You know what I mean? Give away some snow cones. Chick-fil-A may throw some chicken sandwiches out there. It's just formality, bro. Like it's done. And to be honest, I think every game is gonna be a blowout. Every single game. I think Boston's gonna win every game by at least 10 points or more, and Boston will be sitting waiting for the second round. Yeah,
Ronnie, I believe Boston is gonna go. It's just, you know, like I said, Pablo, I hope he gets some more help next year. Hope Orlando. But then at the end of the day, I just don't want Pablo to pull a Shaq. You know what I mean? Pablo to pull a Shaq and get up out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Orlando got a real problem.
These young boys.
Orlando has a problem keeping star players. You know, they let Dwight go in the middle of his prime. They let Shaq go. They got a problem with keeping the guys that they drafted very, very high. So, you know, I think they got to keep building around that young man. Like, he's a real star. Like, I think he's a real deal superstar when it comes down to the way he plays the game. He's aggressive. He attacks the rim. He definitely has a way of being able to draw a lot of fouls. So I just think they got to keep building around him, man, and make him happy, man. And, you know, or I think, but if he doesn't win, he may want to go somewhere else. Like, I think Giannis was on his way out if he didn't win that championship, you know, a few years ago. I think he would have been, I don't think he would be in Milwaukee right now if Giannis didn't win that championship. And so they kept a lot of that core together. And I think they got to figure out what they're going to do with Panchero because he's a dynamic player, bro. He is a real, real good player, and he's big.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah. He's like a mix between LeBron and Carmelo. I think he can get a little bit more strength and then just attack the rim like LeBron does, you know? Yeah. What you think about that Golden State game, man?
Low post. I think he could confuse you on the post. Oh my God! I was on the edge of my seat, man. I just want you to know, playoff Jimmy is real. That boy, whole season. With the third season and doing the guy went out there and got hurt, came back and gave us 38 points. 38 points. Now,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little nervous, man. But I don't care. Golden State, Old State, Lakers in 5, man. I think
Hey, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I
he's
I
all
I want I want the best route to the championship for the Lakers possible, man. And I would love for OKC to get knocked out so we ain't got to play them. I would love for the Rockets to get knocked out so we ain't got to play them. I think I will say this though. I think if Curry and the Warriors don't get past the first round, I think Draymond might be out of there. I think they might have to get rid of Draymond, and it's time to have that talk with Steph, man. It's time to have that. Do you want to be on the team and still trying to win a championship, or do you want to go ahead and like make your curtain call? You know what I mean? Because I think it's if they don't show and prove this year, bro, I think it's over with for them. Check your connection.
You see me? It's good.
Yeah. Make sure your internet good.
You see me now? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. So what I'm saying is Draymond. It's different with Draymond because he has so much equity in Golden State to where it's like Golden State to trade Draymond Green. As much as it was to disappoint to get rid of Clay and then be able to trade Draymond, your core, your story. Sometimes you got to keep some people. At the end of the day, some people is just untradeable. You rather just for them to retire person because not many teams no more. So if it was my choice, I would want Draymond Green to retire or Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked Steph, Clay, and Draymond to retire
and let his number retire in the round back.
Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, but when there's only one player. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say you right though. He will get his jersey retired. He definitely going up in the rafters. For championships.
But you got
You saying what now?
my connection, man, my Wi-Fi connection, man. I paid my bill, man. I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi connection, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
You know what I mean? I got complaining to do. I got to go to the front office. All this money, I've been here for too long, man. I've been here too long to have my Wi-Fi looking like this, man. All jacked up. You know what I mean? I gotta go. I demand a recount, man.
But yeah, no, I don't think
talking to this.
Yeah, nah. But yeah, listen, I would want Draymond to retire. I think Draymond is a real competitor. He's a guy that other teams could use as well. So if the Warriors don't want him or don't want to utilize him, and keep him as a starter, I think we got a place for him over on the Lakers. We'll love to play with Draymond for 1 or 2 years.
Here's was so great because he had moving targets. It's like giving you a gun and you able to shoot all over the room. You're a good shooter if I give you a spray gun. Having Steph Curry and Klay Thompson gave him a spray gun. Now you take him to the next team where he don't got the moving parts to be running around. That's marksman to be able to pass it for the Draymond. Green is, I don't need another system with LeBron James or say a Luka Doncic. He will be extinct. He won't need to handle the ball. Draymond Green handled because of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson was able to run around and you had to watch them and the defense pulled. But if you put Draymond Green on the Knicks right now, you're not taking the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hand. You're not taking the ball out of a star hand. He fits that mold, that system.
Yeah.
I don't think you take another system. He will be, but to be able to do what he did, to be able to go out there and get triple doubles without a Stephen Clay with the marksman guy that he had around him, I don't believe he can beat Draymond Green without two of the best shooters in the world. If I pass it to you beyond the arc and I give it to two people, if me and you have Thompson and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, me and you can average 10 assists because they're going to make the shot. They're going to make the shot. Now, let's just say you put Draymond on Timberwolves. They're not pure shooters like that. They 30% in three-point shooting. So Draymond Green passed the ball out. They're not going to make that. What made him look good was that system. So he's a systematic player. He's not a Swiss Army knife. He's systematic.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you on certain aspects of that. Like I do think the NBA is changing to where there's a lot more ball dominant scoring point guards that are the main like person on their team. Like when you talk about, like we was talking about with Trae Young, he's the first option on his team, right? You have LaMelo Ball, he's the first option on his team. You got Jalen Brunson, he's the first option on his team.
He's another one.
And like, even though these guys are running the offense, it wouldn't hurt you to have a big man that is looking to feed you the ball in an area where you can be able to score the basketball, right? And to where you don't have to actually space the floor by yourself and create the play. That's one thing that Curry has had the luxury of, is that he doesn't have to actually come down and set up the offense as a point guard. You see what I mean? Like, he's in a situation where
he plays off the ball.
Exactly. So imagine how good Jalen Brunson can be if he didn't have to actually run the offense, right? Or LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is coming down, trying to feed Brandon Miller, trying to feed Miles Bridges. But what if he could just play off the ball and come off of screens and go downhill, towards the basket and not actually have to have the ball in his hand because he's very quick, So I think Steph changed the game like that to where the point guards don't have to run the offense. LeBron runs a lot of the offense before Luka got there, right? And then it just puts you in a position to allow someone else to feed you the ball and get other players in the mix as well,
Draymond Green is an outlier. You don't have forwards running the point no more. Draymond Green is like a Johnson ran that ball and handled that rock. Magic Johnson did his thing. So when I look at Draymond Green, if he go with the right system, if he go play with like a Wembanyama, where he have to set him up and he have to set up other guys and give a center and be able to give a person a chance to play off the ball and shooters around Draymond Green. That's where he performed. You need shooters around him, like look at Luka Doncic. He got AR-15. This is going to go. You give him a center in the pick and roll, his assist is going to go up. It's all about a system that I think Draymond Green stops in the Steve Kerr system. At the end of the day, I think he runs that system better than some of the Phil Jackson triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Draymond, I think without Draymond, Steph doesn't make nearly as many threes as he's made, because that means Steph would have to initiate the offense and create the shot. And when you got someone like Draymond, bro, there's times where Draymond is not ever even looking to score the basketball. Like, he's literally looking for when he should pass the ball to Steph. Like, to me, he's the most unselfish player in the NBA because he believes so much in Steph.
Because when you offense, make sure you give the ball to Stephen. The ball, you get it to Draymond Green, and they got it's just like a system. You get the ball, you give it to him, he's going to get it to them. Draymond Green is going to get him the ball because Clay and Steph Curry was playing off the ball. When you have a system like that, and it's like it's very hard to stop a system when you play in the system, because it was hard to stop the triangle.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you can be, if you on the court, like, yeah, they like when the ball goes to Looney, like if Draymond passes the ball to Looney, I think it's times where Draymond is thinking, bro, I'm only passing you the ball so you can get it to Steph. Like, we're trying to get Steph as many shots as possible. So it's like, when you got a player like that.
Hockey assist.
Yeah.
It's hockey assist. They're great at hockey assist. When it comes to hockey assist, team on hockey assist, you pass it him to get it to Steph, he shoots a three. The hockey assist. It's not about the assist, it's the hockey assist. They thinking about hockey. These guys is playing hockey while everybody else is playing basketball, because he got to get it to him. There's an angle to where he got to get to him just to get it caught at angle, just like hockey. I got to shoot it to you so you can get it in the goal. So that's the greatest thing about the motion offense, about the Steve Kerr offense. And one thing about the triangle is a triple threat. You could Draymond, when he's at that line, he can drive, he can shoot, or he can pass. But he's at the top of the key when he gets the ball. And they're going to give one thing about what made Rondo and Draymond Green so great is the defender is going to play off of him, and that allows him to see the field. Because you say, oh, Draymond can't shoot. But at the same time, you stand so often where he sees everybody running. Someone can run across you, and he can step out and hand him and pick him up and let Steph shoot the ball. Because all he got to do was he did last night, got the ball to the corner and boxed the guy out and handed it to Steph and let him shoot the three.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that offense, it's just who could play an offense well. And I think Draymond Green, when it comes to any offense, he can run an offense. But you can't put him on a team like the Phoenix Suns or somebody like, look at Jokic. He's a big Jokic. Imagine Draymond Green with Jokic side. They doing the same thing, but Draymond Green ain't got the height like Jokic.
Yeah. But I think as long as Draymond has a shooter that he believes in, that he believes that if I give you the ball and you gonna make it, like a Devin Booker, right? He would go good on the Suns. I don't know if they would, reach the status that the Warriors did, but I think as long as he has a player that he really believes that if you're open, I'm gonna get you the basketball. Like, you're gonna get the basketball in a position to where you can make the basket and not have to create, after I give you the ball. And I think as long as Draymond is on a team like that, he'll be fine. Like, I do think that if the Warriors do happen to go to the Western Conference Championship, I think that he'll get another year or two, with the Warriors and may be able to retire. But I think if they get knocked out in the first round, man, I think it's time for them to have that talk.
Yeah. It's time to bring in a new offense. So what you say about Ja Morant? I mean, the Memphis did everything to win that game. Desmond was awesome. 30 points. Ja Morant came back at the while in the third quarter. At the end of the day, them boys tied the ball up. But last play, they couldn't get the ball in bounds. They couldn't get the ball in bounds. So I thought Memphis was going to come, but they was trying to get the ball in Ja. But I don't like the play that the coach ran. And that's why firing that coach was so important. Because in a position like that, you needed a great coach to draw up a play. So now we see right then and there why, when they fired their coach before this game, at the end of the season, and now you got a new coach drawing up an out of bounds play. Yeah. Because you know why? He didn't know. He wasn't in that position before. He was never in that spot before. And that pressure got to that coach. He didn't draw enough play up. He drew a play up just to get the ball to Ja Morant. I respect Steve Kerr the other night, giving Buddy Hield the ball and going a different way. But he drew the play. You see the play was drawn up.
Yeah.
No, that stadium knew the 5-second violation. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. So now they got to go off and they got to go play the winner of Minnesota Mavericks in Sacramento. But I do believe the Grizzlies is going to get a spot. But at the end of the day, whoever in that A spot, once again, like the Magic, going to dodge a bus and run into a train. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I think, with Ja, man, Ja is a real dynamic player, man. I think the way he plays the game, though, is very wearing and tearing on the body. You know, the way that he attacks the rim, the way that he makes sudden movements. I think that his game is not built to last for the longevity of the playoffs, right? So he's never really finished a playoff series, to be honest, like that. Not that I can remember. You know, it's always like, I think it was one year where they were up on the Warriors, but then he ended up getting hurt. You know, and I think that Desmond Bane showed up. He showed up last night. It was nothing more he can do. You can't put it on him, you know. But I just think, I think that the Grizzlies are gonna stick with Ja. Ja, to me, is the number one attraction in the NBA. That's my opinion. I think when you look at, you said what now? Hold on, you kind of broke out. You said what?
I said, do you think Ja want the Grizzlies?
Yeah, I think he rocks with the Grizzlies.
To a big market.
No, I think he's good in Memphis. I think he's kind of like a Ant-Man, to where I want to win here. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get something here done, you know, before I take it somewhere else. I think he got that type of pride. He's a baller, bro. He's a real deal hooper. And I think that as long as, and I think the franchise believes in Ja too, because I think that's why they fired the coach, because I think the coach may have wanted to go another direction, and I don't think management did. I think they said, no, Ja is our guy. You know, I think if you look at any kid that is 12 years old and younger right now, if a person is 18 or younger, they may be more of a Steph fan. But if they're around 10, 11 years old or younger, they're more of a Ja fan. Like, Ja took over the kids.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it's out of him and LaMelo. You know, I think adults understand who Ant-Man is more. Like, we look at Ant-Man and we like, yo, this looks like Jordan. You know, like when you in your late 20s and 30s, you're more so like, I remember watching a little bit
It's
of
like
Jordan. You know, I remember catching him, and Ant-Man reminds you of that. So like, but when it comes down to these kids, man, they
I like it,
love
but no,
Ja.
no, 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 no.
You don't think so?
My man, Anthony. When I look at it, I look at John is a rap artist, and Anthony Edwards, he turned pop. He
Yeah,
was a rap artist, but that grit when he first came in the league, he was that. Now he's here now. He's that guy. He feels that they comparing him to Jordan now. He gonna pop.
yeah,
Is still rap all day.
yeah,
He's not going to. Ant-Man had a few raps, but he decided to go pop. God bless him.
yeah,
But some
yeah,
people decide don't. Some people don't want to go pop. John Morant is just not going to go pop. Not.
yeah,
He's just going to stay rap all day because
yeah. And
that's the
that's
new culture. And I always said, and the NBA got to be careful because this is the new culture. You can push a lot of people away because a lot of things is unprecedented now. This world has changed. So, so like you did say, the kids love him, and people like that. The bad boy in the stands and the best and the bad boy that everybody liked in the bad boy business. We want Dennis Rodman was loved because he was a bad boy. Ron
yeah,
Artest was loved because he was a bad boy. You know, so now we getting away from that and wanting to clear. I understand you want to clear it up, but you may take away at least 1% of your fans because they feel that you understand. So now you got to let Ja be. I understand. Yes, I love the bomb experiment. I liked it. I like the creativity of the mindset that he said, okay, they said I can't do this. What they going to say about this? Like Allen Iverson. They said I can't do this, but what they going to say about this? Allen Iverson was always, you told him he couldn't do something. Okay, I'm going to do this. He just changed his stripes. He was Allen Iverson, and we loved
yeah,
him for that. When it comes to culture, we don't get these coaches in the league no more. We get every other 20 years we get a guy like an Allen Iverson to change our culture that want to come in there with the Braves and bring his squad in there. Look at you talking about practice. Practice? The man didn't
yeah,
want to even go to practice. He was trying to set a precedent. Practice? The man damn
yeah,
near strangled
yeah. And I
Larry
mean
Brown.
that's how I feel with
Culture
Ant-Man.
of job.
Like what you said, right? With Ant-Man, you know, Jordan had that rough edge about him if you knew him personally. Like when you look at the documentary, right? I mean, the way he was talking to his teammates. Hey, you bitch ass. You know, like he talking to his teammates real crazy. He got that rough edge, but he's so political and clean that you can still market him, right? And then, like you said, Ja is to me the second coming of Allen Iverson. Like I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna play how I want. But if you remember something with Allen Iverson, he dealt with a lot of injuries because of how he played. He dealt with a lot of injuries, and like it's really parallel how they are because that's how I feel like the route that Ja is going down, to where it's like all on his back, and you can get him some key players like a Mutombo, you know, like a Eric Snow, but we gonna need you to drop 40 to 45 still. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of vibe. And I think Yeah, I think Ja is gonna. I don't think he's going nowhere. I do think that with him getting suspended and stuff like that, it did mess up and tarnish his image as far as like how you can't. It's hard to be the face of the league. When you getting into like that type of trouble. I don't think Anthony Edwards is gonna get into any issues like that. I mean, the worst that I've seen from Ant-Man has been like some baby mama issues. But I think that comes with the nature of being the guy. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna deal with multiple women. You're gonna be a little reckless at times. You're young. You're
Jordan
moving
had
a little
issues
bit
on
too
court.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he doesn't cheat the game though. You know what I mean? Like he's a consistent hard player, and he's going at the guys. When he went at Kevin Durant that playoff series and put them out, then he went at the Nuggets and put them out. I mean, listen, he's not going to cheat the game, and then you can never really underestimate him. And I think that that's what Jordan did. Like, Jordan had to
but one on
keep
one,
climbing before he was consistently a champion. He went to second round, knocked out. Went to the Eastern Conference Championship against Detroit, knocked out. But then once he realized how to win, and once they put the right guys around him, Jordan stayed a champion. And I think that's where Ant-Man is going. Jordan was in the league from 84 to 1990 before he even went to a finals. And so I think that's important when you're looking at someone like Ant-Man, because I think that he's on like the same trajectory, where I think once he figures it out and they have the team that they have around him that can really work, the same way that, remember, the Bulls got rid of Charles Oakley and then brought in, Pippen and other players to get him to the next level. I think that's what Cat was to him, where it was like, man, you getting rid of another really good, solid piece. But I think it's all to make a real championship team in Minnesota. And Chicago wasn't known for winning championships before Jordan got there. And I think that's what's going to happen with Minnesota. I think that they're going to be known for the 2 to 3 championships that they do win while Ant's there.
I don't think Minnesota is going to win it with the way Anthony Edwards. One-on-one basketball don't win championships no more. If you look at when you go back to the last champions, our previous champions, Denver, Boston, the Lakers, and I don't want them to think that Ant-Man is Jordan-esque that could do it by himself. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Durant needs Booker. LeBron James got Luka. Giannis got Lillard. Jalen Brunson got Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. We just talking about star players that stars. You have to be able to bring another player there and let him not be. He got to diminish his game. They have Jimmy Butler. He couldn't get you another. So Anthony, the number 2 guy, like LeBron James got number 2 and number 3. Denver got number 2, 3, 4. OKC, Chet Holmgren, Williams, and Shea. Shea needs help. You need a third scorer to average 25 points in today's NBA.
Yeah.
Luka and LeBron James. A second scorer. If Anthony Edwards have a bad night, who can help them out? Not many people.
You know what I think too?
If you're Jordan,
I agree. I think Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert are pretty solid, 4 and 5s. I think it's time to get a real solid small forward, somebody that's can make a difference, that has a name, and then you keep Ant-Man at the 2. And I honestly, I think it's time to get rid of Mike Conley, man. He's an older guy. He's the elder statesman on the team. Even if you don't get rid of him, I think it's time to demote him, and let him play more of the Udonis Haslem role, where he's coming off the bench, but he's still the kind of the core of the team. How like Tristan Thompson is for the Cavs, right? That's the glue guy when you think about it, because Tristan is sitting there letting them Cav players know, like, this is what we was doing when it was me, LeBron, and Kyrie and Kevin Love. This is the energy we had. So like, you gotta have that elder statesman, but I think it's time to get somebody else, a dynamic point guard, a real solid small forward, and I think they'll have a chance, man. I think Ant-Man got the mindset. He got the ability. I think Julius Randle's a pretty good guy once he starts to gel with the team. And I think Rudy Gobert is not going to take a lot of shots to where you giving Ant-Man more opportunity to score. But it's hard for them to spread the floor, because they know that the ball is going to Ant-Man. With the Lakers right now, you don't know who's going to shoot the shot. You don't, just because the ball is in Luka's hand, he can dish that thing to LeBron, and LeBron will kick it over to Austin Reeves and hit that shot. So everybody kind of has to stay home. You know what I mean? But if it's crunch time,
there's no switching with them.
Yeah. Once it gets down to crunch time and you playing against the Timberwolves, I think you kind of know, like, we can slack off of Mike Conley right now because he's not getting the last shot. And whoever their small forward is, I think he's a pretty good player, but you're not getting the shot, bro. This is going to Ant-Man. And, I mean, he just hit a shot the other day, like maybe a few weeks ago on 2 players. You said what now?
Just like last night, everybody in every arena knew the ball was going to Durant. And Steph Curry was guarding the inbound, and he couldn't even get the ball because the ball.
Yeah.
So Ja Morant, when the whole team knows where the ball going, and your team, that's why when you draw up an offense, when you draw up a final play for the Golden State Warriors, it's hard to tell where that ball is going. But when you write up a play for Timberwolves, even for the Rockets, on the Rockets, every that's why I say it's going to be a problem with Golden State with the Rockets, because all 5 people on the Rockets could get a bucket. Every 5, and they're going to have to deal with 19 and 21s and 25 up and down the court. So that's the Golden State series is going to be wild for me, but I got Golden State winning that to play the Lakers in the second round. But I'm still, I still like to reserve the right to change my mind after the second game, So on the fence, 50-51 Warriors. But I heard that. But last night was an awesome night, Mr. Dozier, and I can't complain about last night. It was an awesome game last night, 2 awesome games we just called. I can't wait to these games today. They got two games. Who played today? They got the Miami Heat playing the Bulls and Sacramento, and that's going to be a great series, and I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, man, we can get back on here tomorrow, man, and cover those 2 games, man, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely cover those 2 games, man. And
all right,
it's gonna be a good series, man. It's gonna be some good playoff games, man. So yeah, we definitely gonna be be locked in, and I'm interested to seeing this
and I
Lakers
mean
in
it,
5, baby.
and me, for me to get a boss like you on here, man, it was hard. It was pulling teeth. I took years to try to get you. You're a busy man, guy.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm in the office right now. I gotta make some calls,
You're
but we're gonna lock in, man.
sitting here smoking. Like you got a nice watch on. Could you send me one? That's a nice watch you got on there, man. I see that watch, man. You know what I mean?
You know what I
Smoking
mean?
cigars. You know what I mean? Got nice office in there. Come on, man. How many bit? But that's another one, man. Come on, man. Come. Can I get a? Could you treat me? That's
I
Mr.
got you,
Dozier
man.
right there. Come on, man. I got the man himself, man. Look at
I gotta get you I gotta get you up here to Atlanta too,
raping
man.
Georgia. Pause.
I gotta get you up here to Atlanta, man.
Tomorrow, I definitely. All right. I'm going to holler at you until tomorrow for Dozier. Y'all holler at us. Enjoy y'all day. Keep it safe. Keep it peace. Make sure y'all check out Ronnie Reacts on his YouTube page because we're going to be doing more content on the Ronnie Reacts page. So make sure you go check out Ronnie Reacts on YouTube. Make sure, check out Ronnie Reacts, subscribe to his channel, and we're going to bring you so much more content. We're going to be giving out some money. We're going to be giving out. Got a lot of things in store for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. So, giving away some tickets to the playoff game tomorrow on the next segment. Y'all gonna want to stay tuned. Until next time, peace, Dozier.